What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. So, Jeanie Buss, let me get this straight. Jeanie Buss for the Los Angeles Lakers. She's definitely, one of the higher ups, for that team and everything in regards to everything that goes on. Operations, the trading, the staff, all that stuff. She's definitely one of the big names on the roster if you don't know who she is, which you should know who she is if you've watched the Lakers, or especially last year watching the Lakers with all the drama and everything they had surrounding them. Her name came up a lot, and it definitely came up even more in this offseason. So, but she's basically saying, you can look at CBSSports.com where she speaks on the matter of saying that Russell Westbrook was their best player last year. And I know why she's saying it, and I definitely can understand where she's coming from, because some people definitely believe in consistency. And when we talk about Russell Westbrook, we can't say he consistently played well. We can't say he consistently was a great or very good sidekick to LeBron and or AD when he was on the floor. But at the same time, we can say consistently he played damn near all the games last year. He was the one that was most reliable. And if you watch any of my videos, a few videos back, I spoke on this topic actually. Yeah, Russ actually played the most games. He was the most consistent in that way. And as I said before, your best ability is availability. And some people believe that to the highest degree. And Jeanie Buss apparently is one of those people, for her to come out and say what she said about Russell Westbrook. Or it could be a situation of she's just saying this just to say the right things to the media, to get the right notion out there, maybe to get Russ to realize, or maybe to get Russ to think that somebody on the roster or somebody in the organization thought he was valuable to the team last year. Whereas right now, based upon the way things are, he doesn't see his value for this team, or he doesn't think that anybody else besides himself thinks that he's valuable enough to be on this team and he has value for this team, as long as he's a part of the rotation. And to be honest with Russell Westbrook, if I was able to talk to him, I would say you have value in regards to, the games played, you being there consistently every night. We couldn't say that for, LeBron and AD as much, but we definitely could say that about you. But in regards to your value, in regards to helping the team be better, championship material, no. Don't have any value there. Probably won't have any value there going forward. But of course, a lot of that remains to be seen. And of course, we have to see exactly, what the Lakers can get out of Russell Westbrook if, basically pending on the fact of whether he actually plays, with the Lakers this upcoming season, which I believe he will. I don't believe that Kyrie is coming or anything like that. I don't see any Donovan Mitchell trades or anything, which that one seems to be a little bit more likely than the Kyrie trade. But I will say this, either way, the Lakers are probably not going to be but so much of a better team than what they were last year, unless they make a big splash, trade or something like that. Then maybe, I could see the possibility of them being a better team. But the way the team is currently constructed right now, I don't know how much better they would be than what they were last year. And for Jeanie to say that Russ is the best player on the team dating back to last year, that's not saying very much about this team at all, because look at their record that they had. They were 15 games under 500. They were abysmal to watch most of the time. And even when all three of them were on the floor, the very minimal time that they were, you just didn't see a team that felt like they can gel. You didn't see a team that you felt like that can, flip the script in their season to turn their season around. You never felt that. You never got that vibe, probably. So with that being said, the Lakers got a lot of work to do. And, they got some decent young pieces this offseason, but as I said, decent, average pieces, not great pieces, or not even really, really good pieces. And, of course, the main thing with them is their defense, I said, is the biggest issue. But, at the same time, there has to be a good balance between the two, between defense and offense, if you're trying to win a championship. And I don't feel like the Lakers have a good balance based upon the roster that they have, because they got a bunch of good, decent guys with 3 top 75 players that one is aging, Russ looks like he's starting to age, and Anthony Davis just can't stay healthy. So, I mean, when you look at this mixture, unless everything goes right, unless all the stars are aligned right for the Lakers to win it all, and everything goes absolutely right, and they got all the luck in the world on their side, I don't see them winning a championship this year. And like I said, unless something changes, that's the only thing, that's the only way. But as far as Russell Westbrook and everything, I can't say he was the best player on the Lakers last year. Nobody would probably agree with that. Me personally, I would go with LeBron James. Most people probably would go with LeBron James, like myself, because to me, he was the best player standing on the team last year because he had the most success, even though the team had the most unsuccess as a team that they've ever had, I think, in their history as a team, if you ask me, based upon what I saw last year. But this is a newer season upcoming, so they have time, they have a chance to redeem themselves and, rectify what happened last year and, make things better. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they are the same team they were last year, just about. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't, if they barely make the play-in tournament, or if not, I wouldn't be surprised because, like I said, there's no roster moves or changes for this team that makes them an all-world team now, or that makes them so much completely different than what they were last year. So back to the topic, in regards to what Jeanie Buss was saying about Russ, she's saying the right thing, trying to keep the peace and everything like that, probably. But at the same time, I think it's over with for Russell Westbrook and the Lakers as a team, as a unit, because I don't feel like Russ is wanting to be there anymore, along with, others probably not wanting him there. And, the fact that the Kyrie thing was, blasted all this offseason and everything like that, Russ hears things. Russ sees, he's got a TV. He sees all this stuff. He hears all the things that people are saying. And I guarantee it probably makes him not want to play with the Lakers even more because of all that was said, and because it probably seems like to him everybody chose a side. And his side wasn't the side that was chosen. You see where I'm getting at? So, I mean, Russ is in a situation where, he just feels like he's probably not wanted. And that's probably, honestly, that's probably one of the worst feelings to feel, is to feel like you're not wanted. So I just think that I don't personally think that they're going to let Russ walk away and walk out on the team and stuff like that. But I just wouldn't be surprised also if, Russ doesn't, if Russ finds a way out. Because they're definitely still trying to trade him. You're hearing the possibility of Kyrie Irving and all these things still possibly, being able to come aboard. But Kyrie's probably not going to come this offseason. As I said, I think maybe next offseason, bare minimum, probably, the trading deadline near All-Star break or something like that, maybe at bare minimum, but not before the season. I don't believe Kyrie is going to make it to the Lakers. And I guess to me, really, that all depends also on how good the Brooklyn Nets are doing, because, if he doesn't come the next season, how do you know Brooklyn Nets might not win a championship this year? It's very possible. I don't personally think they're going to win, but I mean, you can't rule anything out because a lot can happen in the NBA season. Injuries, teams get hot at the right time, all that type stuff. So, they definitely can make it to a finals, with the teams they have, because technically they got a big three. And if they keep their nucleus together, and stay healthy, why would Kyrie or anybody need to come to the Lakers? A team that's not going to win a championship when you're on a team that definitely can win one with Kyrie himself, KD, and Ben Simmons. So, you have to look at that too. And that, to me, that plays a huge factor in this situation. So this is something we have to look at. This is something we have to take into account and look at it from there. But Russ is pretty much, his time in LA is pretty much done. He's just biding his time at this point. And the fact that they got Patrick Beverley, that really probably put the icing on the cake for Russ, because, I know he doesn't want to play nowhere near that guy, and probably vice versa, but even still, he's going to have to try to find a way to suck it up and, stay on this roster and be happy with what he got, because this is where he is until, they either ship him out or until he's able to walk next year, possibly. So, Russ is in a tough situation. And, I guess just hearing encouraging words from Jeanie Buss, like that he was the best player on the Lakers last year, maybe that makes him feel a little bit better about his situation. And maybe that'll make him go out there and ball out, play his hardest, And I hope it does, because he needs to get his stock, his value back up, So other teams will, definitely want him, and, he won't be one of them players that, been in the league a long time, but then, found himself out of the league for whatever reason or something like that, which I don't think that's going to happen to Russ. But, at the same time, it's a situation that Russ is in that I know he really wishes he wasn't. And I know he didn't think it'd be this way when he came to LA. But, if you're not winning, drama comes with being on the Los Angeles Lakers. If you're not winning, if you haven't produced a championship, if you haven't even made a finals or anything like that, you're going to get overly criticized. And that's just the way it is. And Russ is going through that right now. And, honestly, he shouldn't be the fall guy for everything. Of course, some of this is his fault because, he's not playing up to the level of a top 75 player. And he didn't play to the level of a superstar player that they felt like they should have gotten out of him last season when they played, which they thought their record would be a lot better because they had so much talent on their team. But as I always said before, chemistry overrides talent any day. You can have all the talent you want on the floor, but if a team has better chemistry because they've been playing with each other longer, they know each other's tendencies a lot longer, it just makes it harder for a team with talent to override that. And that's the reason why the Lakers found themselves in so much struggles, along with the age of LeBron James, and the little injuries that he did have last year. They kept him out longer than what it ever has because, he's always been Iron Man. But now that he's aging, any little injury, keeps him out a week, 2 weeks, whereas back in the day, he would just play through it. So the age and then the injuries of Anthony Davis, a whole lot goes into the last season's issue. But at the same time, it's not all Russ, even though it's going to be made out that way because he's definitely the fall guy. But Russ is going to have to find a way to just, play his role on this team until he can find his way out. And hopefully for him, that's sooner than later, because I just don't think there's any happiness towards him, towards the organization, or maybe vice versa right now. Maybe besides a few in the organization, still deal with Russ. But at the same time, I think they're all over him, and I think he's all over, the Lakers. I think it's pretty much a done deal. It's just, keeping it professional at this point, playing on this team until, maybe somebody else, hops on and wants to take on the opportunity of Russell Westbrook. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check out my other videos if you haven't. And hey, Khaliis out.